As a person who holds a particularly accurate ideology and worldview, I must say I am distressed by the corporate welfare I see within the military-industrial complex.
That must be painful indeed.
You have no idea.
What about the space part of the military-industrial complex?
A perfect example. Corporate welfare in the space arena makes an arms race in space much more likely. We must instead preserve space like a museum, or at least a sanctuary.
So it sounds like you would be in favor of a U.S. taxpayer-funded space traffic control system which might help preserve the space domain.
I am in favor of space traffic control because it may help preserve space. We really need U.S. government funding to create innovation and new technologies that will preserve space as it is, things like space traffic control.
So space traffic control isn't corporate welfare, but is actually investment.
Right.
So are those that conduct space commerce too stupid to invest in space traffic control themselves?
The private sector will only invest when there is a likelihood of a profit.
So because there is no opportunity for profit, the U.S. government must intervene?
Exactly.
Are there any limits to this sort of intervention?
Yes. Things I don't like, for example. Like corporate welfare.
So if there were a chance for a profit, industry would already be addressing the issue without government intervention.
That is correct.
But if there is no way to profit, what is the purpose of space traffic control? I mean, who actually benefits from a space traffic control system?
Well, those who need space products and services like the United States government, and industry, and other countries.
So commercial space providers and other nations would benefit from space traffic control.
Yes, they should benefit. Perhaps even more than the U.S. government because the commercial space economy and international space efforts are much bigger than U.S. government space.
So should commercial space providers or other nations help pay for most of the space traffic control system because they will benefit from it so greatly? And if they don't pay for space traffic control themselves, isn't that corporate welfare? And free riding?
No, the U.S. taxpayer should pay because space traffic control is a public service which will help preserve the space domain. Space traffic control should be a free public utility like GPS.
So space traffic control and GPS don't cost anything because they are quote-unquote free public utilities?
Well, these things do cost money, but it's U.S. government investment to create innovation and to preserve the space domain.
So funding for space traffic control and for GPS is government investment, but funding to prepare the nation to deal with, say, space warfare, for example, is corporate welfare.
Right, because space traffic control and GPS are investments and space warfare and things like missile defense are corporate welfare.
Couldn't corporate profits increase if space traffic control helped minimize satellite collisions, space debris, and radio frequency interference? And don't other nations' space programs benefit in the same way?
Yes.
So wouldn't space traffic control be something that others would want to invest in themselves?
Not when they can get the U.S. government to fund it. Did I tell you I have a particularly accurate worldview and highly profound ideology?